What's up everybody, and welcome back to another tone sculpting tutorial. Today I'm going to show you the 80's thrash metal, the USA thrash metal pack, how to get the most out of it, and once again, it's really simple. Basically, you just need the true cab, preferably the USA thrash metal pack. You need some sort of tube screamer. The settings are right over there, so increase the drive a little bit, level all the way to the top, adjust the tone as you wish. And what I'm using for the tone here today is the Mercurial Spark. So as you can see, I've bypassed the built-in IR loader, and the settings are basically, these are like my go-to settings regardless of the amp. Usually if I can't get a decent tone with these settings, problem is probably somewhere else. Most likely in my playing. But increase the bass a little bit, turn down the mids a little bit, treble and presence, add to taste. The gain somewhere, just figure it out until it's good. And with the Blood Rain main, it kind of sounds like this. And the cool thing about this Slayer tone is that, or Slayer tone is that it actually works really good for things like hair metal. So it's not just for trying to capture that essence of the old school Slayer tone. It can do much more than that. You know, like you can play turn down the gain a little bit, unless you want to be one of those like heavy metal rock dudes. But that's let me pull out the Spark and one more time, and you can capture the same tone with nearly any. I'm just gonna use Marshall for this because that's kind of, I was working on the impulses with kind of like the JCM tone in mind, so that's what I'm gonna use for this. So it's more than just a Slayer tone. Essentially, you can do a whole bunch of things. And one of my favorite things with this is that usually when I play with, before I played with IRs and amp sims, like I always get the rhythm tone down, but it never really translated to the lead. So the leads would kind of choke out, and so I don't know what it does. I guess it just feels like you're in a room. You know, kind of like I'm finally able to do that kind of stuff with True Cab, and that's really cool if you ask me. And especially the pick attack, I feel the response is really like. It just sounds like an amp in a room to me, at least. I don't know what it sounds like to you guys, but that's the Blood Rain, and that's how the tone is generated. And if I'm gonna transfer the same amp settings over the next patch, which is kill over decay, it's gonna sound a little something like that. So that's got a bit more of that, I would say, like a Marshall Valve state type of sound, not so much of a JCM, but a great example of like how much the cab section does to your tone. I'm using the exact same settings, but I get two very, very different tones there. And this one, I would probably tame the bass. But that's what Kill Over Decay is all about. Over the Legacy main. I would say this is more of closest to the probably like a hair metal style, but it's also essentially like say 87, 88. A lot of those thrash metal, speed metal records kind of. A little bit thinner. Feels like it's a little bit more roomy. And this would probably be the best starting point for any leads, like. As it doesn't have as much bass as the other tones, so. So, I'd probably use this as a lead channel, and maybe a little too thin for some of the like rhythm playing. But there we go. Right, the creep. Yeah, I better fuck that riff up so I don't get sued. But yeah, it's kind of a Ride the Lightning style Metallica tone. Pretty cool. Pick attack response and all that. You could probably use this with some sort of Mark series, as this was around a time when Papa Hetfield did the transfer from the JCM into the Mark V, the Mesa Boogie Mark series. So feel free to try with either one of those amps. But yeah, strong mids and kind of like a harsh kind of style. The last one, Cell Mega Piece. Yeah, it's rather Mustaine-ish sound, and I really like it. It's pretty bassy. It's got a pretty good response, and really like this as well. Yeah, that's about it. That's how you get the 80s thrash metal guitar tone, any kind of JCM. Well, I'm using the AFD, but it's kind of like a JCM 900 ish. I don't really know anything about amps. But use Marshall. With these settings that I have here, I'm able to get this tone. I'm not using any sort of demon wizardry or trickery in here. The signal chain is up here. I'm using Gay, Tube Screamer, Spark, and a True Cab. And that's all I'm using here. So that's how you get it. That's how it's done. As everyone's still being quarantined, no end in sight. I'm gonna entertain myself and hopefully you guys by just making these tone tutorials to show you the creator's version of this is what I had in mind when I created True Cab. So hope you all enjoy this one, and I will see you next time when we're probably going to be doing some black metal. So stay tuned, people, and stay safe, and remember to wash your hands. I'll see you next time. Thank you.